I've only got 14 minutes of video, so maybe I won't record for very long. I was thinking of recording for a longer session, but I will need to organize my storage. Before I can proceed with filming longer videos. So I was speaking earlier about the word need and how it can be used to describe a lack of something in an experience. Now, I was saying I don't think it should be an appropriate word for me to use to describe an interaction of new experience in that way. But I just used it in a way that I felt that it could be used, such as I may need to take this action before this action. If I wish to initiate this sequence, there is a pattern that I can only reach this specific, or to reach this specific goal within the desired time frame, to reach this specific point, time node, requires a specific path, and I may need to take a specific action before I can take a following action, as that specific action has become prerequisite to that specific experience in the path. I'm sure there's a better way to describe this. Let's just say, yes, when I use the word need, I would like to designate it to describe actions to be taken in a specific order, or the presence of possible prerequisite experiences. To get here, first we must take these steps, is what need represents. Instead of representing something that we want but we don't have. As we may perceive that we need it to feel a specific way that we want to feel, but it is not present within the current experience. However, we are still capable of feeling the way that we wish to feel. We just may be taking a path, we may be trying to take a path that requires us to have or experience something that we are not currently experiencing. So instead of allowing this experience of lack to continue, because we are standing in a path that ends in a chasm between what we want and what we have, where we are, and we're trying to cross this chasm without any way to do so, when if we allow ourselves to take a broader perspective and maybe go backwards a few steps, we may perceive that there is simply a bridge right there, and we no longer need to stare across the chasm, as there is a path that we can take right now to get there. And letting go of getting something in a specific way, for something to manifest in a specific way that may have been programmed through our experience to represent what we want to feel. It is allowing ourselves to let go of that and open to the possibility of feeling this experience in a different way. I feel like that was a pretty solid message. I disconnected there as I went to tend to the fire. And I think my music changed. Just listening to ambient frequencies. That were at 369 resonance. Yes. I guess I would like to start sharing myself more on this platform, as this experience feels resonant for me at this time. I have been making attempts to communicate on this platform previously. However, I have been facing many fears or imbalances around my projection into social media, or perhaps my presentation of self, as I felt as if I may have been applying filters and masks to myself that I did not feel comfortable in. So, in an attempt to feel comfortable in the experience of being on social media, and that became a paradox, as how can I force myself to be comfortable in a framework that I'm not comfortable in, to experience something that I may have felt uncomfortable with, as either side of that is going to be uncomfortable. So I feel that I can only freely feel comfortable to share more of myself truthfully and consistently when I am sharing from a place of openness, not trying to hide or mask myself in any way to feel comfortable with who I am in this moment. So this is me stepping into that, choosing to film myself fully, as perhaps I have previously been reluctant to share my voice notes, as it may have felt incomplete, as I wish to share it perhaps with some visual aspect, but I wished to present myself more fully. And when I have tried to perhaps record myself on video, I may have felt nervous, so that I was perhaps hiding behind a mask. And by continuing to hide behind that mask, I would continue to feel nervous. And only by releasing that mask can I also release the nervousness that I have attached to the mask. Because I have told myself that I need that mask because I am nervous. But if I attach that nervousness to that need, then I can release them together. So I do not need to feel nervous because I no longer need the mask. I'm coming up to the time limit I have for recording, and I feel that I am complete in the share at this time. So I am grateful for your presence here in this moment, sharing this experience with me as I explore these concepts that are within myself and further open myself up to sharing the many things that I perceive. So, thank you. I appreciate you, and I am grateful for our communication together.